G'day people. Today I'm going to start mucking around with the coffee table restoration, just the top surface. It's been a long time, something over 50 years since my father made it, so I thought it's time to just spruce it up a bit, I forgot to turn the camera on straight away here, so here I am pretending to rub it down with 1200, which I'd already done at this point. And then after that I moved on to 4/0 steel wool. Anyway, I used Minwax finishing paste as a lubricant, and this was my first attempt at seeing whether this would clean up the surface and get out the imperfections that had developed over 50 plus years. Yeah, once the Minwax had dried it, I came back and buffed it up with a soft cloth, see what it would look like after that. But when I looked at it, I thought, nah, that's still not coming up as well as I'd like. So out with the big guns, starting with 120, moved my way up to 400. I stripped down the whole of the surface of the coffee table, cleaned it up with a vacuum, and after that I came back over it with a wet paper towel, just to get the bits of dust residue off. At this point it was nice and smooth and ready to apply a coat of lacquer. I brushed the lacquer on because I'm not too smart with a spray gun. I have got one, but I'm still trying to figure out how to work the thing. I ended up going and putting 5 coats of lacquer on. The first one was thinned out to make sure it seeped in, and I did a light sanding after it, and then moved on and just applied another floor with a couple of hours break in between them. I left the air filter on so that the air would stay nice and clean for the lacquer to dry. I came back 3 days later and started to rub down the top to flatten it, but unfortunately I hadn't realised I'd run out of 600 and 800 grits, and I only had a 1200 left to use. I gave it a bit of a rub down with it with wet and dry and water and wiped it off, but I just wasn't happy. It wasn't cutting the mustard, and it was going to take too long to bring it down to the flatness I wanted. So I decided to call it quits there, and went off and bought some 600 and 800, but in fact I came back the next day and used the 600 to really get that down and flat. Now I don't know how I did it, but I recorded in double time. Yeah, blowed if I know. Anyway, I came back with 1200, checking it with my hand as I went, and then cleaned it all up afterwards. It was nice and smooth at this point. I now applied a final coat of lacquer. It's very much thinned out, so it's just a very thin coat to go on. And then I came back over that with some 4/0 steel wool and Minwax paste, just to give it that final smoothing. You can also see that spot that I missed in the left hand corner. I had to come back and fix that up later. This is a hall table I finished a couple of weeks ago, and I used a similar finishing technique on that. It turned out pretty well. What I did as a final thing was to take terps and clean up the surface. I ideally didn't want any of the Minwax left because I wanted a slightly satiny finish. So taking that off really made a nice surface. Well, that finishes up the coffee table, and I'm pretty pleased with it. You'll notice where the video went all strange there, and I realised afterwards I'd accidentally pushed the time-lapse recording rather than the video recording, but hey, what the heck. Next time, I'm thinking of doing a tip. Yeah, I think we'll try a tip. See ya.